Hey, what's up? We're Hobbs, and you are watching The Underground Bunker on bloodrockmedia. Hey, what's up? We're Hobbs, and you are watching The Underground Bunker on bloodrockmedia.
Welcome to another fun-filled episode of The Underground Bunker, the only show that screams, "Why not me, Brett Ratner?" Nah, that sucked. Anyway, you all know what this is. It's a weekly web series where I talk about unsigned underground bands that you should be paying attention to. Why? Because I say so! It's really about exposing the scene that I truly believe in. All of us at Blood Rock believe in the scene that we're trying to expose, because there just isn't enough of that. And that's why I talk about everything from pop rock to death metal, because we all need to have an open mind about music, and that involves getting outside the box a little bit. So, with that in mind, I have my drink, but I also have this. And that means it's going to be a good show. Let's rock! First on bat is a band that if you have not heard of them yet, that's okay, because they don't want you to come to their house either. Seriously though, they are a bad fucking ass band from fucking Hungary. This band is Ectomorph.
Your city has fucked up fake smile. Your misery kills you inside.
Now, here's a really, really cool band. These guys have been around since 1994, and they've been doing a pretty damn good job of it. They actually made 5 of their own discs before they signed their first record label, which, by the way, was with Nuclear fucking Blast. And then they did some stuff with them, and then they've been with AMA ever since. The music kind of sounds like what Il Nino with Jamie Josta singing would sound like. Now, these guys are currently on tour with Dead Horse Trauma, whom I talked about in our very first episode. So you want to check both of these bands out because their tour ends tomorrow. And last but not least, you can check out their newest live CD, which is called Warpath. And you can get it on their website, which is ectomorph.com. Also check out their Facebook, the iTunes, the Spotify, all that good crap. Check them out. The next band I'd like to talk about is a band that came to us through the initial email blast that we put out before the show even started. They are a deathcore band called Death Singer. These guys are a 5-piece band that started in Virginia Beach, Virginia, where I've played, and I can understand why. As I said, they came to us through an email blast that we put out before we even started the show, and it took them a while to get their stuff to us, but they did, and so now here we are. I've said before that I'm not the greatest fan of the deathcore and the porno grind and all that stuff, because I generally like lyrics that I can listen to and understand. That said, these guys turned my eyebrows because I can listen to this, and that's saying a lot. When you make a genre such as this, a lot of bands, and I mean a lot of these bands, start to sound the same. And the one thing that sets these guys apart, and yes, there's quite a few of them that do this, but they have 2 singers. As I've said before, a lot of bands sort of shoehorn stuff in to make it look like, hey, look at this, we're doing all kinds of stuff. You guys don't sound like that at all. It actually sounds pretty natural, and me being the drastic critic of the genre that I am, I was pretty happy to listen to this stuff because it doesn't suck. And as you can probably surmise, these guys are pretty much influenced by bands like the Akasha Strain and Hatebreed, as evidenced by the windbreaker on stage worn by the Thing. Yeah, I've never really been it might just be because I'm old, but the whole ninja kicking and the circle fist throwing I'm so metal thing never really got me, but it doesn't deter me from actually liking the music. Excuse me when I have a pretzel. Because it's listenable. It's not boring. It drags a little bit, but that's, genre specific. And so, when I'm listening to it, I really kept an open mind, and I started to like it really quickly. A lot quicker than I thought I would. Because, as I said, it's listenable, and I like it a lot. So, they're actually playing at the Fall Brawl tonight, which is the 17th of, it's the Friday. They're playing the Fall Brawl tonight. So, if you're in the Virginia area, go check them out. You can also get their first EP, which is called Cold Comfort. And you can get this stuff on iTunes and Spotify. Check them out.
Segway!
Band number 3 is a band that I've been waiting to talk about for the past, 6 weeks or so since I found them. But I haven't been able to fit them in yet. They are what a band would sound like if TOECUTTER from the Road Warrior got his buddies together and made a band. These guys are called Attack! Now these guys, like I said, I've been waiting to talk about them for a while, and I don't even really need my notes. But the only thing I need to tell you off the script is that they started in 2009. And that said, I am really actually super surprised they don't have a much bigger fan base, because not only have they released, one full-length album and 3 EPs on their own, they've played Wasteland Weekend many times. Because if you're going to have Wasteland Weekend, you have to have this band. I mean, who else is doing what these guys do? Seriously, Road Warrior Metal. Fucking awesome! They label themselves, quite accurately, by the way, as post-apocalyptic rock and roll. Which, all you have to do is look at them for 2 seconds and realize it's exactly 100% that. Here's my favorite thing about this band. Their sole purpose, and this is listed on their website, their sole purpose is to have fun. And I love that! There needs to be more bands that are all about the fun. Because, and Herman Lee said this, Herman Lee from Dragon Force said, bands aren't having fun anymore. And a band that says right there on their Facebook page, we are here to have fun, and fuck you. There needs to be more of that. Because if you can't have fun, what's the fucking point of doing the band? And speaking of fun, their sound reminds me of the weird amalgamation of like Nickelback and Dope. And then when you add the Road Warrior aspect, it's just a lot of fucking fun to watch. I mean, look at this. That's fucking awesome. Hot chicks, beat up cars with flames shooting out the pipes. That's a recipe for fun right there. That is a recipe for holy fucking shit good time right there. You can find their stuff pretty much anywhere, including their website, which is actually a really, really cool website. It's attack.com. That's AHTCK.com. I really, really think you should check these guys out, because you can't not like them. Period. Period!
Segway.
Next up is another in a long list of bands that I love from beautiful Kuopio, Finland. This band is just gonna rip your fucking face off, because these guys are called Nemesis. I reviewed these guys about 6 or 7 weeks ago on the website bloodrock.com. I reviewed them and I gave them a 4 out of 5, and I made a mention that their singer Henry has a YouTube channel where he does tons of really cool covers of other songs. What I did not know at the time, though, and only just sort of put it all together today, was that Henry is the same Henry from Asylum 8, who I gave a 10 out of 5. And, I am not surprised at all. Henry is one of the most talented singers I've heard in forever. And the fact that he can do Mark Hudson from Dragon Force in Asylum 8, and then he can do Randy Blythe in Nemesis, doesn't surprise me at all, because that guy fucking rocks. So whatever he puts his name to, I will listen to. And I will humbly accept their CDs with love notes written on them. Henry, like I said, this guy can do Lamb of God sitting down and sleeping. And that said, the band does sound quite a lot like Lamb of God's Sacrament era stuff. And when I'm blasting this shit in my car, one of the songs reminds me a lot of Redneck. And I could listen the fuck out of that song. And their whole album is that good. It is fucking... A lot of people don't like Redneck because it was sort of, a little bit more mainstream. But you know what? I think it fucking rocks. So if you're listening to that, and if you like that kind of sound, you're gonna fucking love these guys. Because their whole album fucking rocks. I gave it a 4 out of 5. And the only reason I gave it a 4 is because the mix, the mastering wasn't quite there. It was a little dry. Their newest album, the one I reviewed, is called Death Temptation. It is, of course, released Inverse Records because they love Henry. And they're actually playing the record label's, night in Finland on the 22nd. If you happen to be in Finland, go check it out.
Segway!
This band needs no introduction because there's really nothing I can say that will fully prepare you for the awesome force that is Terror Universal. Now, these guys are a 4-piece shock rock band, and you, of course, can tell that from the masks. Don't actually know where they're from, but I do know that one of their members happens to be Dave Shavari, who you might know from Soulfly and El Nino. He's the drummer, and he's a genius. To say that their sound is brutal as fucking hell is really putting it lightly. I mean, this song you're listening to is just fucking driving fucking double bass. The guitars are there, the bass is there, and their new singer, Plague, is totally there. Speaking of, their new singer has only been around for a very short time. Why? Because of OTEP. Now, much as I hate her fucking guts, she made a stink, and rightly so, about their old singer Chad doing a not-so-nice thing to her. And not only were they kicked off the tour, but these guys did the right thing and kicked his ass out. Now they got Plague, who is not a woman groper, and has a fucking hell of a voice on him. Love this guy's voice. Love the whole band. It might just be because Dave's in the band, but these guys have done a bit of touring on their own, and they're actually doing quite well. What surprises me is they've got as little likes on their Facebook page as they do. I think it's somewhere in the area of 15 or 16,000, which, considering they've been around a couple of years and toured a lot, surprises the hell out of me. It might be, however, because they haven't really released any full lengths or anything like that. That said, their first album is actually, the first full-length album is coming out on January 19, 2018. It's called Make Them Bleed, and I think it's gonna fucking rock. And I do also think that they are going to tour heavily off of that. I really hope they do, because I would love to go see them, maybe interview them. Dave. You can check them out on their Facebook, you can check them out on their .com, which is terroruniversal.com. You will undoubtedly be able to get their music on iTunes and Spotify and all that good stuff. And I don't need to tell you to do this, because you can hear the fucking music, and you're going to, right? That's all the time we got on this episode of The Underground Bunker. Once again, I encourage you to like and subscribe. You all know how this works. Because Bloodrock has tons of videos, including my other show, The Fallout Shelter, where I interview touring bands. I just did Of Mice and Men, and I'm doing NGWK very soon. You gotta check that out. It's gonna be fucking awesome! But, yeah, check out all the band's links. They are listed below. Check out our Spotify playlist, which is updated weekly to feature all the bands that I cover on each episode. It is getting super long now. So you will have no thirst. Well, you will have no thirst for new music because I'm gonna shove it down your fucking throats! Anyway, also check out the Facebook pages for Blood Rock and the Underground Bunker. Check out Blood Rock's Twitter, and if you have 54 minutes or so, check out my personal project, which is called The Toxic Dream. It is a story-based metal project, and I think you will like it. My friends, I will leave you with this remark. I say this all the time. It's not enough to say that you support the scene. You actually got to get off your ass and do something about it. Go to the shows. Buy the merch. Pass out their flyers. Share the websites. Do the work, people. It is far beyond the time when we need to get off our asses and do something about the scene. Because our scene will die unless the scene does the work. And that includes you. And you put that down. I'm Hobbs. I'm out.